Many thanks for joining me again on another exciting episode of the Brunch Show on Value Chain TV, TVS for short. I hope you had a very great and wonderful weekend. It's another Monday and this episode promises to be great, interesting and exciting as usual. My name is Patience Moses, your host on the show. As usual, we have the newspaper review segment and also the entertainment segment where we give you trending G's, home and abroad. So stay tuned, sit down and relax while we go to the newspaper review segment. Welcome to the newspaper review segment where we look at top stories in the headlines. Today we're going to start with the National Economy newspaper, and the big story on this paper says Nigeria records 1.9 billion POS fraud in 1 year. Now that's a large amount of money. Fraudsters adopt swiftly to new channels and regulatory precautions. How to beat them to their game. Now, this is coming from experts. This is a very good story, and I think we should go ahead and read it from the National Economy newspaper, so that we don't fall victims of such cases. Just recently, my neighbor in the house who has a POS she's operating was duped for over 400,000 naira. Hopefully, with the Nigerian police around, she was able to recover her money. Sometimes we might not get too lucky to get the money back. Still on that paper says Nigeria loses $900 billion annually to post-harvest waste. And this is going to be a very sad one to farmers. I hope something is done about that to fix it. We are moving to First News newspaper. And the big story here says government security officials aiding banditry. Katsina government cries out. Alleges youth being recruited for as low as 500 naira. As Kebbi governors vow to sign death warrant of convicted informants, gunmen kill 24 in Katsina, 3 farmers in Benue. Now this is a very sad story and a very strong allegation, I will say, and a very strong claim at that government and security officials are aiding banditry. Well, if they are very, very certain about this, then who is the government they are referring to and the security officials they are making reference to? Go after them, bring them out if you know them, call names, and I think that is actually going to be a good way to handle this. Now, a very big story that has been on practically all the papers I've seen today is on the Lagos Coastal Highway. Almost all the papers. Now it's here on this paper. It says, Coastal Highway done purely because of Tinubu business relationship, Atiku alleges. Now, this is a very, very strong allegation also. It's example of Tinubu's visionary leadership, says Murray Bruce. Away from First News paper, we move to the Nigerian News Direct. And the big story here is also still on the Lagos-Calabar Highway. Atiku faults FG's demolition of properties, accuses Tinubu of prioritizing business over public good, says demolition of landmark and others unfriendly to foreign investors, says 1 trillion naira released without approval, and then accuses FG of financial recklessness. Another story here says NNPP leadership petitions EFCC over alleged fraud by Kwankwaso and 13 others. Still on the Nigerian News Direct, we have 5.9 trillion naira, $4.6 billion loans. Serap sues Ubasani and Wiki. We hope they are working on this to ensure that the probe is going as it ought to be. Now, away from that newspaper, we are moving to the Punch newspaper. The big story still on Lagos Calabar Highway. Telcos fear shutdown as construction threatens cables. Undersea fiber cables linking Europe to Nigeria pass through construction corridor. Now, this is coming from ALTON and ATCON. These are all telecom companies. And this is like, if you look at it, there's some element of truth in these, because, okay, some of these constructions they are going to do, and even some of the demolitions, there are a lot of cables underground. So a lot is actually, there are chances of this construction and affecting telecommunications and other things along that axis where this highway is being constructed. And just, okay, let me not spill that. I'm going to leave that for my entertainment segment. So another story here says NDLEA seizes 4,752 kilograms of cannabis concealed in Abuja gas tanker. Now, this is serious. Look at the way they are so serious and strategic in concealing these hard drugs. That was a good one from the NDLEA. Getting and seizing this is also good. Now, this one says, major marketers demand more fuel as depot stocks drop. Well, I noticed that the queues in Abuja and other environs are actually reducing, but I don't know of other states. But I hope it's actually reducing and that this fuel scarcity doesn't last, because obviously they said it was not going to last 2 weeks, and this is 3 weeks, and it's like it's continuing. So I hope it doesn't last longer than it is expected to last. Now, away from the Punch newspaper, we are looking at the Vanguard newspaper, which is going to be the last paper we're going to look at. And the big story here says local firms IOCs to bid for 12 onshore and 7 deep offshore oil blocks. Now, this is going to be a good investment in the Nigerian oil and gas sector. And this is as the federal government woos investors at OTC 2024. Still on the Vanguard newspaper, this says marketers remain upbeat as petrol scarcity enters third week. Obviously, like I said, they promised that it wasn't going to be much more than 2 weeks, but now it is coming into the third week. Now, this one says Super Eagles will beat South Africa and Benin Republic. Now, this is coming from Finidi. I just like the vibes that this Super Eagles coach is giving. I remember on my last newspaper review, he was so courageous, so very, very sure that the Super Eagles will make it to the 2026 World Cup. And that was a very strong statement he made. And look at him here making another motivating statement. And I hope and I trust and believe that the Super Eagles will do it just as he has said it. So this is where I'm going to call it a wrap for the newspaper review segments. Obviously, I was not able to exhaust all the papers. There are thousands of papers, but we're going to stop here as these are major stories making the headlines today. So stay tuned as we move to the entertainment segment. Alright, so welcome to the entertainment segment. I know you're wondering, what does Patience have for us again today? Well, I have a not so long a list of some stories I would share with you people today. And now the first on the list was what I was about to divulge in my newspaper review segment. So it's how this Lagos Calabar highway is actually causing a lot of controversy. So many people are beginning to speak out. And just recently, Yemi Alade, our very own Yemi Alade, has actually condemned it. And she's saying that in her own suggestion, there are actually better ways of doing things. And she's so particular about the demolitions that have been going on in Lagos State. She's saying that this ongoing demolition of properties across the state is actually going to affect the real estate value of the country. And that is actually very true. Take a look at most of the houses that have been demolished. Actually, just as she said, it will affect the real estate value of the country. And she also said that there are actually better ways of doing things instead of demolishing. And so I'm left wondering, okay, so this highway has to cut through some axes and there are already structures that have been developed there. So how would they go how will they go about doing this? Although some of them will have to come down, definitely they would have to go down. Whichever way we are seeing it, this highway seems to be coming, and with the speed that the government is going with it, they really want this highway to come up. So a lot of businesses are going to be affected. We can also see the controversies going on between Atiku and Tinubu, the accusation and all of that. Whichever way, we just hope that, okay, they finish the highway and then we see the good that it gets to bring after a lot of havoc that it caused during the construction process. Then we also have another story for the entertainment segment. Well, this is actually on a sad note. I am not excited about these. Now, this is about, it's an international entertainment story. You remember Bernard Hills from Titanic, and also very popular when he became very, very popular in the part that he played in Lord of the Rings. Now, he's actually dead. We lost him at age 79 after a very brief illness. And obviously these are movies we all enjoyed, talking about Titanic and Lord of the Rings, movies that were just everywhere, and he played a very vital role, making it a very, very successful movie, even though his roles were a bit scanty. But especially for that of Lord of the Rings, that was where his presence became more, should I say, strategic, where he became more known and all of that. So we've actually lost him, and this is a shout out to him for this moment he was able to put a smile. So every moment he was able to appear on screen and actually put in a lot of effort to seeing that the dream of some actors and actresses, directors and scriptwriters was actually becoming a reality. So that's a very good one to him. Known for his captivating performance, like I said, in Titanic, he has left an irreplaceable void in the hearts of movie lovers in Nigeria and even in the world at large. Now, another story I would want us to look at in the entertainment segment is about the ongoing hardship in the nation. So a lot of people are beginning to come out and speak. And this is coming recently from Obi Kobana, and he's asking the federal government to ensure that they make every policy that is necessary to make life easier for Nigerians. Now, this is to tell you that, okay, it's actually hitting on everyone. For them to come out and begin to speak out, it's actually not, it's getting tougher. Nigerians are not finding it easy. He was speaking in Lagos during a conference. So his advice was more of a call out to the federal government to create a business-friendly environment, especially for young Nigerians that are coming up. He spoke of how we have entrepreneurs who are ready to work, very skilled, talented Nigerians, but the business and environment where they find themselves is not secured enough. So he spoke putting emphasis mainly on security. Security should be provided so that young Nigerians can go out, putting their skills out there in entrepreneurship, and with that be able to earn a living for themselves instead of depending on the federal government. With these, the federal government can actually relax and rest, since the whole burden is not on them. Citizens could go out, fend for themselves, and not just trust the federal government for everything that they want. And then also moving on to another international entertainment news. So we know of Harry Styles, very popular British pop star. So in the period of a month, it was reported that a stalker who was stalking him has sent him over 8,000 cards. And then it left me thinking, what kind of stalker is this? What do you want from him? And then unfortunately for her, she was arrested. She goes by the name Mira Cavalho. She has actually been arrested and is expected to pay a fine, a surcharge of 134 euros for the inconveniences she has caused. And this has also cost her a lot. It's more like she's under house arrest, because for now, for this period of a few months, she would be allowed to go out or even go for a concert where Harry Styles will be featuring. So this is actually going to cost her some of her freedom of movement and some of that, all for the love of fans, I would say. So we all should be very careful what we do in trying to express our emotions to some of these celebrities. It's actually not easy for them, stalking and trying to make their life very inconvenient is actually not a good one. Now, look, it has cost her a lot. So this is actually a call out to all, then a warning to each and every one of us. Okay, you know you're a fan of a particular celebrity, but please, please take it easy on yourself and even on the celebrity, because obviously you can't keep stalking them here and there. On this note, I'll bring it a wrap on the show. Closing up for the entertainment segment, I hope the newspaper review was educating, and at least you had a glimpse of what is going on in the nation as we speak. And then also for the entertainment segment, you got to find out a few gists. And then even though we had a sad story about losing a Hollywood actor, well, we have nothing to say but say that his soul rests in perfect peace. Thank you so much for staying tuned, and I'll be wrapping up here. I remain patient, Moses. Thanks for staying tuned. And don't forget, the comment section is there for you to drop your comments, and also subscribe to get access to more of our programs. We have What's Your Say, where you can share your comments and your thoughts on different topics that we bring up to you. We have Kaswarmu, our very own Hausa program that covers the business world, and we also have Sunday Star Feature, which is airing every Sunday. I am Me and AI, that covers artificial intelligence and many other technological advancements going on in the world at large. So stay tuned and do not forget to subscribe after watching. Thanks a lot. Have a great day ahead.